read the second one today. The second one is called A Pocket for Corduroy. If you have read the first corduroy, raise your hand. Okay, let's see. Annie, can you tell us what the first corduroy book is about?
The bear lost his button.
The bear lost his button. Can you move over, Tristan? The bear lost, can you move over? Thank you. The bear lost his button. And what happens after that? After the bear lost his button, Mackenzie?
He thought he found it, but it was actually a button to something else.
Oh, it was actually a button to something else. So if we look at the second book, and it says A Pocket for Corduroy, what do you think that book might be about? If you have an idea, raise your hand. Yes,
That
Alexis.
he gets a pocket to his clothes.
That maybe he gets a pocket for his clothes. So instead of a button, maybe he gets a pocket. I don't know.
He already has a button.
Yeah, he has his button. There's his new one. So let's see if he gets a pocket. Yes, do you have another prediction or idea?
Tristan has a little red thing in his pocket. I tried to take it away from him, but he has it in his pocket.
Okay. Does anyone else have any other predictions for our book? Yes.
That he gets a pocket.
That he gets a pocket. So let's see. A Pocket for Corduroy. It says the author is Don Freeman. Do you guys know what the author of a book does? What does the author do?
Writes the pictures and the words.
Usually, yes, the author writes the words and the illustrator draws the pictures. But on this one, it only has one name. So I think that Don Freeman probably did both. He probably wrote the words and drew the pictures. So let's start. A Pocket for Corduroy. Late one summer afternoon, Lisa and her mother took their laundry to the laundromat. Lisa carried along her bare corduroy. What is a laundromat? What's a laundromat? Kalea?
Where you wash your clothes.
Very good. A laundromat is where you wash your clothes. So they're going to the laundromat to wash their clothes.
Well,
And she's taking corduroy.
back then they didn't have, well, they had technology there, but they didn't have their own washer and dryer, so they had to go there.
And even sometimes today, if you live in apartments or certain houses, you might not even have washers or dryers. So even today, people might have to go to the laundromat.
I don't have a dryer.
Yeah, some of them do have washers and dryers, other ones don't, so you might have to go to the laundromat. The laundromat was a very busy place at this hour. Look at all of the people who are in the laundromat. Oh my goodness. Now, Corduroy, you sit right here and wait for me, Lisa said. I'm going to help with our wash. So she's asking Corduroy to do what? Sit and stay still.
Is he a real bear?
Eli.
Tristan is eating something. Good night.
Corduroy waited patiently. Then he suddenly perked up his ears. Lisa's mother was saying, "Be sure to take everything out of your pockets, Lisa dear. You don't want your precious things to get wet and soapy." You know what happened to me one time? I left a pen in my pocket, and when I put it in the washing machine and the dryer, it got pen all over the place. So it's important that you check your pockets to make sure there aren't things in there that can get ruined. Or you know what the worst is? If you leave a crayon, because crayons melt when it gets hot, and it can melt all over the place. Yes?
One time, I had a $1 bill, and I left it in my pants, and then it went make your and then my mom put it in the washer and the dryer, and then it got all like
Oh my goodness. Pocket, said Corduroy to himself. I don't have a pocket. So Corduroy doesn't have a pocket. He only has buttons. He slid off the chair. I must go find something to make a pocket out of, he said. And he began to look around.
I know what happened.
So Corduroy wants a pocket. Uh-oh, should he be leaving the chair?
No.
He's not following directions. First, he came to a pile of fancy towels and washcloths, but nothing seemed to be the right size or color. Then he saw a huge stack of colorful clothes in a laundry bag. There ought to be something in there to make a pocket out of, he said. So he's gonna look inside the laundry bag. Without hesitating, he climbed inside the bag, which was filled with pieces of wet laundry. The dampness didn't bother Corduroy in the least. This must be a cave, he said. I've always wanted to be in a dark, dark cave. Later, when Lisa looked for the bear, he was gone. Oh, Mommy, she cried, Corduroy isn't here where I left him. I'm sorry, honey, said her mother, but the laundromat will be closing soon, and we have to get home. Uh-oh.
No.
In the first story, do you remember Corduroy got lost in a department store? Do you think this time he might get lost in a laundromat?
That's gonna be weird.
Lisa did not want to leave without Corduroy, but her mother insisted, you can come back tomorrow. I'm sure you'll find him. As they left, a young man wearing an artist beret was taking the wet laundry out of a bag. The very bag that Corduroy had discovered. Before he knew it, Corduroy was being tossed together with shirts, sheets, shorts, and slacks. Do you know what slacks are? That's another word for what?
Once I left my Legos in pants.
Clothes. What are you wearing today?
Pants.
Pants. It's another word for pants. Inside the dryer, but just as the artist was shutting the glass door, Corduroy tumbled out onto the floor. How in the thunder did that bear get mixed up with my things? He wondered. Poor Corduroy was damp all over. The least I can do for him is give him his overalls. A good drying, said the man. He unbuttoned Corduroy's shoulder straps and put his overalls into the dryer. Uh-oh, Corduroy has no clothes on now.
He's naked.
He's naked. He doesn't have his overalls on.
Once I let my Legos in, do not happen.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing? It's probably because they're plastic. Corduroy grew dizzy as he watched the clothes spinning around, but the artist became inspired. This would make a wonderful painting, he said. He took a sketch pad out of his pocket and began drawing the colors. I could hardly wait to share this in my studio. Finally, the dryer stopped whirling and the man gushed over the clothes. Then he helped Corduroy put his warm, dry overalls back on. All at once, the manager of the laundromat called, "Closing time! Everybody out!" What do you think will happen to Corduroy? Do you think the artist will take him or he'll be stuck? Yes.
Take him.
He'll take him?
Stay, and then they're probably going to go to the laundromat the next morning, and she's going to see Corduroy.
Oh, so we have one friend who thinks that he's going to get stuck at the laundromat and stay there, and Tristan thinks the artist might take it with him. Corduroy was gently placed at the top of the washing machine. I wonder who this bear belongs to, the artist said as he was leaving. He should have his name someplace. He's such a fine fellow to be lost. As soon as the lights were turned off, Corduroy began his search again. He was surprised to see something white and glowing in the dark. Maybe it's snow, he said. I've always wanted to play in the snow. What does he think is snow? What do you think it is? The what?
It's something like, it's like ice, like,
No.
it's like, it's like crushed. It's crushed.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, you know what it is? Sometimes
Fuzz.
sometimes people use laundry.
Like fur.
Sometimes people use laundry detergent that looks like snow instead of liquid. Most of you guys probably use liquid, but there's some laundry detergents in a box and they kind of look like snow. So he's actually in laundry soap. He accidentally tipped over the box and suddenly he was covered in soap. Gradually, Corduroy began to slip and slide. Oh, what fun, he said with a smile. I've always wanted to be on a steep mountainside. So he's enjoying being in the laundry detergent. He landed paws first in an empty basket. This must be a cage, he thought to himself. I've never wanted to live in a cage. But by now, Corduroy felt drowsy, and soon he was off to sleep. Drowsy means what?
Sleepy.
Sleepy. He felt sleepy, so he went to sleep in the little...
No, his head was kind of sticking out through it.
A little bit. The next morning, when the manager came to open the laundromat, Lisa was waiting. I left something here. May I please look around, she said. Certainly, said the manager. He opened the door and allowed Lisa to search. She looked under the chairs, on the back of the washing machines, and she heard the manager call her. Is this what you're looking for? Is that what she's looking for?
Yeah. Yes.
Looks like Corduroy. Yes, he's my best friend, shouted Lisa. She reached up and took Corduroy out of the basket. So this is where you've been, you little rascal, she said. Lisa thanked the manager and went down the street, holding Corduroy tightly in her arms. I thought I told you to wait for me, she said. Why did you wander away? I went looking for a pocket, Corduroy said. Oh, Corduroy, why didn't you just tell me you wanted a pocket, said Lisa. That very morning, Lisa sewed a pocket on Corduroy's overalls. And here's the card I made with your name on it, for you to tuck inside, she said. I've always wanted a purple pocket with my name on it, said Corduroy as Lisa nuzzled toward him. The end. So is Corduroy happy he got his pocket?
Is there another number one?
Yes. Yes.
The artist said Corduroy should have a name.
You're right.
And then now she made him a name.
Why do you think it was important for him to have his name in his pocket in case what happens? Yes.
Just in case he gets lost.
In case he gets lost again. Now when someone finds him, like when the artist found him, he could say, oh, this bear's name is Corduroy and this is his phone number. Now I know who to contact.
Oh,
That's
it's
the
on the
end.
side.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be like in front.
You thought it was going to be the front?